This morning. Good morning. Hello.
I didn't have my screen open yet. I was trying to finish up something and I was like, oh, I'm here. I'm here.
You're here and we're live. Yes.
Yes.
Nice to see everybody on a Friday. Jamie said she didn't have her screen on. I got into my workspace this morning and I don't know, I've got this monitor that keeps like flickering on and off and on and off. And I was like, I can't have it on and then have it go off. So now I've got my screen over here and my camera here. So I'm talking to a blank black screen, which is really freaky.
Yeah. That messes with me all the time.
That what?
It'll mess with me.
It will. Yes,
I have it all in the same little.
You're over here and here camera. So now I feel like really, really low. So Jamie, do you feel sexy today?
No. Am I supposed to? What is that? What does that mean?
Oh, my unicorn saying.
I love the unicorn saying.
It says, if you feel sexy, you are sexy. It's just that plain simple. I was like,
nice.
That's fun. That's a good one for today. Kind of fun and interesting. So yeah, plus I know it would make you laugh.
I love seeing the
out now.
I look for the unicorn posts every day. So.
Oh, well, see, they're fun.
Yeah,
I know.
They're so fun.
And they're sassy. That calendar is kind of sassy, which I wasn't really expecting. So I'm going to have to figure out how to get one for next year somehow.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, busy week.
Busy week. Lots today, for sure.
Lots today. Lots of closings today?
Yeah. Probably 20-ish.
20-ish.
Go. It's the last day or two, but today is going to be one of those days.
Well, let's see. Our week started out with at-home diversity. What did you find was most interesting with the at-home diversity?
I just liked all the conversation that was had about different circumstances and situations and just being able to kind of talk through those. Margo was great and a great person to teach that class. So,
yeah, I thought, it was a real interesting reminder with so much going on right now, George Floyd, and, the conversations on diversity and inclusion and everything that's happening. I thought it was a good way to kind of, in a neutral way, to go through some terms, of meaning interpreted in real estate as well.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact she kind of challenged us to kind of update our mission statements, and I'm loving that idea. In fact, that I was thinking that would be fun, Jamie, to just even put out on our Facebook group and say,
yeah,
what would you feel would be a good values statement for the company in regards to diversity and inclusion and equity, and just to bounce ideas off of people.
Yeah, I like that. Absolutely.
Yeah, kind of a fun group think on that, because one of the exercises had the people who participated to think about that for themselves, and I thought there were some really cool answers.
I'm gonna write it down.
Are you writing that down?
I'm writing it
down. Yeah. So then, so the other crazy thing that happened this week, and Jamie's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe she's going to say this." We got a subpoena. For it was a 103-page subpoena in regards to one of the national lawsuits that's going on right now in relationship to the MLS data. And there's 10 companies in Missouri, and yay, we won the lottery.
It's our lucky day.
Our lucky day. So not a lawsuit or anything like that, but a subpoena for information. And what this suit is about, and this is why buyers' agency agreements are really critical. And we had an instance that came up with this that Jamie can share with you, of an agent filling out a buyer's agency agreement this week that we have dealt with that kind of in some way relates to the suit. So what the lawsuit is alleging is that there is no discussion with the buyer on how much a buyer's agent get paid. So, you take a listing, you know how much the seller's going to pay. You work with a buyer, you don't know how much the buyer's going to pay. Well, what our argument is going to be, and not ours as an industry, not ours as a company, because again, we're not being sued, but we do have that discussion. We have that discussion when we meet with buyers. We talk about the fact that if the seller doesn't pay the commission, whether or not the buyer is going to pay the commission, or whether or not we don't get paid, which those are kind of the three options. Either the seller is going to pay the commission on behalf of the buyer, the buyer's going to pay the commission, or we're not going to get paid. And then of course the question is, are we going to accept what the seller is offering? Are we going to accept what we feel we should get paid from the buyer, whether or not it's the same or different from what the seller is offering? And then whether or not we're not going to get paid. So Jamie, share the story we had of an agent who's not getting paid.
So we had an agent that had a buyer agency signed. She said that she usually does mark no on if the buyer will pay her or not if the seller is refusing to, or there's a difference in the amount you're expected to get versus what the seller's offering. The buyer found a custom build and went and looked at it without them, wrote up an agreement, and is going to buy that basically without our agent involved. And since we never showed the house and we marked no in the buyer agency, that she doesn't have any rights then to get paid on that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, and there is a but the buyer still wants the agent to write the contract. Right?
No, she's not involved at all. But they have come back and said they're going to pay her something. So we'll see there's no written agreement though. So we'll see what happens
on that one. Yeah. So there is a perfect example of your time is valuable. It is very valuable. And here's the other thing I always want to kind of take this back to is the fact that from the moment you meet with a client, the moment you interact with the client, let's even take it back a step further. The moment you're emailing with a client, you are having a conversation with someone, you could be sued. You could be, in an E&O claim. You could have a code of ethics violation. You could have a real estate commission suit. From the moment you have a conversation, and guys, you know how it is. Those are the risks that we take of doing business. But if you're going to work with a buyer, you have a right to get paid for your services. Absolutely. And buyers do understand that, that. And some of you are way better at that and some of you are a little more nervous about that. And you got to keep practicing that and doing that, and having that discussion. And by the fact that we have a buyer's agency agreement signed that includes that discussion, really puts us as an industry, us as the Missouri, and us as an office in a better place to answer the question of, did the buyer have an understanding of what they were getting paid? Well, yeah, it's in our document, and that's something we discussed. So it'll be a fascinating suit. It's gone on now for about a year. There's a suit in Illinois. There's a copycat suit, which is in Missouri, which is why the MLSs in Missouri are getting subpoenaed, and now some of the companies are getting subpoenaed. But the good news is that all of you got all your files cleaned up.
Yeah.
For the MREC audit, it's a great place to.
That's right.
But the other piece of it is you shouldn't have to worry about that because this is specific to documentation for the suit, not an investigation of files or anything like that. So don't even think twice about that. That's something we're thinking about. But was an interesting week for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else happened this week?
What else did happen this week? We had CE class. What else am I thinking of?
Well, let's see. According to Robin, we had a couple of cool announcements. I just posted that lots of volunteers happening over at the board. Ashley did a great video on RPAC. Robin just posted there's a bingo event next week. So thank you guys for doing your services on that. Some of you participated. I know Billy watched the session yesterday with Katie Lance in the new REMAX series, starting out on how to enhance your social media. So that's super cool. And she's so great. Definitely an opportunity to take advantage of. And that will be happening once a month. She'll be doing webinars, but she's also doing some more videos that you can find on We Are REMAX. So don't forget to check those out. And we'll continue to post that information so you can see that because she's just, she's real. Right, Jamie?
Yeah, she's absolutely real. Easy stuff anyone can do. It's nothing crazy or like out of the norm. And it's just good tips and ideas and things to help kind of boost your business on your social media. So she's great. She's great to listen to. She's got a great personality. So
yeah, I mentioned another thing we have is we've really worked on and enhanced our team agreement. So if you're on a team and maybe you feel like you have an okay agreement. You're not sure if you've got a good agreement or not. We actually now have a 7-page team agreement. How crazy is that? Yeah, we've done a lot of work on that, and hopefully kind of tried to think about all of the things going into it, so that if you're coming out of it, you've got a little bit more, kind of spelled it up front and not thinking about it on the end so much. So if you are wanting somebody to join your team, or you've been thinking about teaming with someone, please let us know, because we've got resources for that, and spend a lot of time and thought on that agreement, which has been something we've been working on. Needless to say, the market still matching up with needing more listings and needing more buyers. You guys are feeling that like crazy, and things are selling as fast as they get on the market, but we're still behind on inventory, and I know you've got more buyers to do that. So Jamie, anything else we want to kind of preview next
yeah,
week?
so we just got the email, I think it was last night, that came through from Remax on the next 2 sessions with Bob Proctor. I know some of us did the first one. So August 5th at 10 a.m. and August 19th at 10 a.m. So look in your email. You should have got an email from Mid-States to register and sign up for those so you can attend those.
Yeah, and so here's where I find him just so fascinating, and just blows my mind on this front. So we have a new agent, Izzy Smith. If you haven't met Izzy, she's super fun. See, okay, here's Robin. Loves Bob. She's chiming in, loves Bob. So to me, I'm sorry, he's like an old man. I love him. He's been doing this forever, and his slides are so just antiquated. But like, it's like watching him, I'm like, okay, and not that being an old man is bad by any means. I just, now I sound like I'm senior bashing or something here but like, he just has a different old school technique about him.
Yeah.
But at the same point, he's got this like amazing, like sage mentality, Sherpa, I'm going to guide you through your life, and it's amazing. And so, and like Izzy was coming in new, and she's like, oh my God, I love the session. And I also got a text message from Jane, who was listening to it on her drive out to the Grand Canyon. She was listening into her car, and she's like, oh my gosh, I needed this. This is so great. So everybody's going to feel something a little bit differently and feeling it. And I will tell you, I listened to him, and when he first started coming on, I was like, gosh, should we promote this? Should we not promote this? But we got just such great feedback on it, because the words and the concepts are universal, and they are timeless, and they are real. And, in a society where, it's the flash of your seat of your pants, and what we're doing today may change what we're doing tomorrow, may change again. It's nice to have that consistent messaging that goes through the heads. And that's what Bob brings. And he absolutely brings that consistent, lifelong messages to build your business and build your character as well.
And if you missed the first session, they've got it on this email too, so you can go back and watch it, or go back and rewatch it before you watch the second one, so you can kind of refresh and remember.
Very cool. Any big plans for the weekend, Jamie?
Not really, just kind of hanging out. Next weekend is next Friday is the graduation for high school, so we'll see how that goes.
It's so awesome that that's finally happening, right?
Yeah, I hope that's still going to happen. They haven't said anything different, and I'm sure we'll have to wear masks, and they've broken it up quite a bit, and only 2 people per household, so Emma doesn't get to go. 2 tickets per family, and so.
Can you watch it on Zoom?
You can watch it on like the school channel, and then they're also allowing 2 tickets to like the gym, and you can watch it on live stream in the gym. So Tyler's girlfriend and Emma are gonna watch together in there. It's interesting. It's an interesting time.
It is, and I mean, a story for a lifetime.
That's right, absolutely.
For a lifetime, it will be cool. Well, great. So everybody, hopefully you have a wonderful, safe weekend. Have a great time. Thank you for watching this morning, and we love you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.